Good evening, and tonight I have an episode of Lego Mario where we're going to build two more of the Lego Mario sets. Today, I think my featured figure is going to be Peach because one of those sets is the Toad Village, and we're also building Yoshi's house. You know what? Today is kind of an interesting stream because it's the last stream in my current setup. We made the decision to move rooms, and so tomorrow my whole computer setup is being disassembled in preparation for moving into another room. So I hope to be back online by the end of the week because next weekend is Star Wars weekend, and we have some special things planned for the channel. Although I may have to delay the Star Wars Lego because I have my budget collapsed and I don't have not yet secured the Lego set that I wanted to do for Star Wars weekend, which is okay because I plan to celebrate Star Wars throughout the month. There's some game streams I want to do also, but hopefully I can get that Lego set for this weekend. We'll see. Anyway, but for tonight, let's get back to Lego Mario. And I'm calling this a Midnight Mario episode. Yeah, because even though it's still technically a little bit before 11:30, by the time we finish tonight's two sets, it'll be well past midnight. So I guess it counts. We'll be hitting midnight during the stream, so we'll count this as a Midnight Mario episode. Let's go over to the camera. So you can see the two sets I have tonight. We have the smaller set here, which is Yoshi's Gift House. And then I also have this big set for the Toad Village. And this Toad actually features something I don't have in my collection yet, which is a Toadette. Or the girl version of Toad. I think she's only in two of the sets out of all the over 60 sets. It might even be 70 or 80 by now that Lego Mario's done. I haven't even counted them all. Anyway, so let's put that aside because we're doing the small set first. Actually, I won't put that over here on this side of me. And then, so right now we're going to focus on Yoshi's Gift House, which is this one. And this set doesn't come with a separator, so I'll pull out the one I was using last week, which I haven't put away yet. And then here's Peach. And you know what? Because it's our last stream in this setup, let's go ahead and bring the whole trio out. But Peach is the one we'll mainly be using. Since we're at Yoshi's house and the Toad Village tonight, we'll be dealing with a lot of friendlies. So you will see a lineup of characters along the front edge of the table as the night goes on. We're going to have two characters in the Yoshi's build, and then the Toad Village has a total of 5 characters. Well, I think 2 of them are meant to be part of the build. So anyways, Yoshi's Gift House. Here's the front of the box. And you can see it comes with a mole, one of the mole characters. And I have no idea what this little platform on the side does. We'll have to discover that when we build it. Here's the back of the box. And this basically shows how you can connect this to the other sets, including the starter set, and make a whole course of it. I don't know why they call this Yoshi's Gift House. I mean, it's not really a house. It's basically a doorway with 2 trees on the side, but I mean, this isn't even a full facade. Like many Lego buildings, they show you like the front wall, but this isn't even a full facade. It's just the doorway. So let's see what we got here. Okay, we have 3 numbered bags for this set. I think it's 3. No, it's 4 numbered bags for this set. We'll set 4, 3, and 2 aside until the instructions call for them. And this is actually a fairly small set. Piece count is, here's the earlier Lego Mario Waves didn't have full instruction books, but here's the quick start guide. We'll set that aside and pull up the actual instruction book. In just a moment. Let me just make sure we're working. Okay, we're good to go. Let's get the instruction book up. Separator's ready to go. Let's check the figures and make sure they're ready to go. Okay, now let's go into the instructions. So bag 1 is going to be Yoshi and the doorway. Bag 2 is going to be the first tree and the mole character. Bag 2 is going to be one of the trees. Bag 3 is going to be the other tree and the mole character, and then bag 4 is going to be this crank and gear device that I don't know what it does. Let's open bag 1. Our separator is ready to go. Now this isn't Mario Kart. This is one of the this is one of the mainline Lego Mario sets. It's actually one of the older ones. This is one of the older Lego Mario sets. So no stickers. Older Lego Mario. Lego Mario did not do stickers until the Mario Kart wave. So pretty much all my remaining Mario streams in the queue are not going to have stickers anymore at this point. They have, in general, been increasing the use of stickers across Lego sets, even more than ever before. So this is going to be a green Yoshi, and considering that green is the classic color of Yoshi, the Lego Mario sets tend to focus more on yellow Yoshi and pink Yoshi. I think this is only my second green one, even though green is the most traditional color as far as I remember. There's also a couple blue Yoshis in the line. I think I have one of that version. I do like the brick build aesthetic that all the Lego Mario characters have, because it helps them maintain the traditional cartoony look of the characters from the games. You can't really do that with minifigures, and most of the character designs in Mario wouldn't even translate well to minifigures. I know that's been one of the controversial things about this line, but it doesn't really... I actually like this way better, so... It's not controversial to me. Just to some other Lego fans and Mario fans out there. And already we have our first part eating of the night. I see where it went. Let me grab that real quick. Didn't take us very long to get to that first part eating tonight. Okay. When I stop talking, that just means that I'm focused on the build. I ran out of stuff to talk about. And something new to talk about hasn't entered my mind yet because I'm focused on the build. Okay, so there's a headless Yoshi, and now it's going to have us do its head as an assembly. Four bags does seem a bit much for the small piece count on the set, but it's an organizational thing more than anything. Uh, Legos numbered bags, so it makes sense to break down the playset into sections. I think we'll let Mario test the interactions for the Yoshi house because Peach is going to get most of the Toad Village. We'll have to give Luigi some time as well. We'll have to give him a couple interactions to test. We're no stranger to building Yoshi here. You've seen me do it several times at this point. So let's go ahead and get a quick close-up on camera. There's our Yoshi. And we'll let him stand with his friends over here. And now let's begin building Yoshi's house, and we'll have this first tile here, which appears to be printed with a Yoshi egg symbol. I know from previous sets what that does is it basically will hatch a Yoshi egg on the video screen of the character who activates it, and then Yoshi can do things with it for the figure when going to interactions. Like Yoshi can eat standard one-hit enemies. So let's go ahead and build this doorway, and then and then we can take a quick look at the interaction here. I think what we'll do is we'll let Luigi do the individual interactions, and then we'll let Mario play the Yoshi set when we finish it. And then we'll bring in Peach for the Toad stuff. It's hard to believe that I've had my Lego Peach figure for over a year now. She debuted on this channel on Mario Day last year. So back last March. Oh, this is a cool printed tile. It's a little Yoshi sign to go above the doorway. this little assembly is exactly the same as the one in the last step. They could have saved a page by doing this as a 2x. No matter. I know the doorway is facing away from the camera right now. That's because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. You'll get a chance to see it. Now this time they did do the 2x thing, so. Oh, and there's a little blue bird. I didn't even notice that in the parts pile. I can't show that on camera without my fingers getting in the way. So I'll just put it on its perch and then show you the whole thing. So here's Yoshi's doorway with the cute little blue bird on top. Okay, and we will so yeah, his video screen just hatched a Yoshi pet for that figure to use. Obviously there's nothing for us to do anything with it yet, since we've only built the doorway. So let's go on and start working on bag 2. So bag 2 is going to start with this fruit that has an interaction tile on it. We've seen these little fruits before. So yeah, so the tile's gonna go onto the fruit like that, and then the fruit gets this little stem piece like this. And this is our little fruit with the tile on the bottom. And we'll set that aside till we need it. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and begin building this section of Yoshi's homestead. One of the reasons I have a tendency to do Mario sets in groups is because I like creating themed adventures. So this one is starting off like a tree. So this part of the house is going to be behind the tree, I guess. So I actually have 4 more themed Mario streams in the queue. Plus there's There's 4 boss level sets that I'm going to need to get. Um, so we'll see the Mario content continue through the summer. I made the decision not to get the redundant starter sets. And I'm still on the fence about whether I want to get the older version of Peach's Castle. You'll recall we did the newer version of Peach's Castle a few months ago. The thing is, the older version of that set has a character that so far has not appeared in any other Lego Mario sets. So I will have to get the older, bigger version of Peach's Castle if I want to get that character. But otherwise, that set feels redundant to me. So I'll have to make a decision on that. But we still have, in addition to, I have 10 more sets sitting in my build queue representing 4 streams. There's 3 sets representing the lava world, which will be a stream. 3 sets that represent the sky world, and then 2 sets that represent one is the swamp and one is the beach. So I'm gonna do a wetlands theme for that stream, and then I have the two maker sets, which are like components for if you want to flesh out the scenery for your Lego Mario level setups. So looks like what we're building right now is Yoshi's bed. And this bed looks like it just sits on top of the tree trunk like this. Interesting. That's a weird place for a bed. So in addition to the 4 Mario streams still in the queue, I did mention there's 4 boss level encounters that will each be a stream on their own, because those are the biggest sets in the line. There's the Bowser's Castle, Dry Bowser's Castle, Bowser's Airship, and Bowser Train sets, each of which is around 1,000 pieces or more on its own. So each of those will be a stream by itself. But I haven't secured those 4 sets yet. That'll be probably after May, because May is Star Wars month. I'll look to add those sets into the queue. There's also the Mario character packs, and I've been wanting to get those. There are, while most of the creatures in the character packs are in the sets, and we've seen them before, there's a few creatures that are exclusive to the character packs. So I think I do want to collect those. I'm not sure if I'll stream those or if I'll treat it like other CMF series and just do it on my own. That's a project for June as well. So it looks like we're building a tree facade right now. Okay, so it's set up to look like a closed window frame. And this attaches to the front of the tree, like this. And his bed just hides behind the tree like this. So there's a little bed, there's the tree facade. You can see there's the indication of a closed window. That cannot be opened, it's just solid pieces. And you could put Yoshi into the bed taking a nap like this if you want. Alright, let's keep going. So it looks like Yoshi has a mailbox. But there's nothing to put into the mailbox at this time. Yes, there is. There's this printed letter envelope tile. And it shows this sticking out of the mail slot like this. This is how the instructions show it sticking out of the mail slot, but I'm just going to push it into the mailbox so that I don't, that tile doesn't fall out and get lost. So there's the tile inside the mailbox. Let's close that up now. So we'll take our little mailbox and our tree bed and our fruit. We'll set them aside and we'll move into bag 3. Excuse me a moment. I saw a piece of trash on the floor. Alright, so bag 3, it looks like we're going to start with our one enemy character, which is the Monty Mole. We built a couple of these before. I think one of them was, I know one of them was during that big stream we did where we did like 9 of the smaller interaction sets a couple months ago. That was a fun stream. It was between 7 and 9 sets we did that night. He does, in fact, he does, of course, get a jump tile. Okay, that gap's supposed to be there. So here's Monty Mole. So he's a standard one-hit kill. So if we come here and get the Yoshi egg, if you have Yoshi active on your interactive character, and I know you can't see the video screen on the figure. So if you have Yoshi active on your interactive character and you jump on a one-hit kill enemy, Yoshi will eat the enemy and you'll get multiple coins instead of just the one coin. And it looks like we're going to get another fruit. This time a green one to go with the red one we had earlier. So here's the fruit. We're not going to spend too much time on this. We're just going to put it with the other fruit for now off screen. And we can start the build for this side, which is going to be another tree facade, it looks like. And this one actually has some brickwork going on. There's a little fire piece. So this might be Yoshi's little cooking area. That explains the brickwork. If the brickwork is meant to be... So yeah, this is a little oven area. So yeah, by summer, we'll be pretty much caught up with all the Mario stuff that's come before. Like I said, I'm not doing the redundant starter sets because they're very similar to the ones that came before and have the same characters. There's a rumor that over the summer there might be a fourth playable character added to the Lego Mario series, and if that does in fact come true, then we will be getting that starter set, of course. But for now, we're going to we're not going to get the redundant starter sets. And I'm still, like I said, on the fence about the Peach's Castle, but we are going to get the 4 Bowser boss sets for sure. And maybe the character packs. We'll see what June's budget allows for. Like I mentioned before, I also want to start the Animal Crossing series in June. There's only 10 total sets for that, though. So, Animal Crossing's not going to take us too long. We'll probably break it down into... Some of the sets are smaller sets. So I'll probably break it down into We might do one bigger set and one smaller set a stream for 5 streams. That might be how we do Animal Crossing. We'll have to see how it goes and what I want to do for that. Interesting. There's definitely some kind of play going on with that. I'm just not sure what it's meant to do yet. Well, that was close, but the piece didn't go off. It stopped at the edge. And it's midnight exactly now, so the Midnight Mario title for the stream is perfectly appropriate. So there's a little bit of a tree facade going on in front of the oven stack as well. And then we just put this little cartoon cloud floating above the oven stack like this. That's what that cloud looks like. And you can see the little bit of fire coming out from the bottom. There's the little fire piece down there. Okay, I see what's meant to happen. There's this little platform on the back, and you can drop the platform by pushing this in. And actually, that's cool. The platform, by pulling it back out, you can actually automatically reset the platform. That's cool. Usually with action features like that, you have to reset the action feature manually. But this one, you can just pull the post and it resets it automatically. I wonder what that's for, because the instructions didn't say anything about it yet. Let's take that off so we can do the bag 4 assembly. Bag 4 looks like it's going to be something to do with a gear piece. I'm not sure when my next stream will be, because like I said, we're moving furniture this week, and my computer will be down during that. But I definitely want to be back up in time for the weekend. I do not want to miss Star Wars weekend on this channel. I mean, I know he said we're celebrating Star Wars for the whole month of May, but the first weekend, that May 4th weekend, is always the most important part. So I want to make sure I'm able to stream. Um, if there's any events, they'll be on Saturday. So I'll probably stream after Temple Friday. Whatever I manage to figure out to do for that first stream, if there's no Lego set. Well, I do have something special planned in addition to whatever the main feature of that stream is going to be. Something really special that I know you guys are going to like. And yeah, R3EV will be with us for that stream. Whatever we decide to do, however we decide to do it. Whether we're doing that Lego set, if I can restore my budget in time, or if we're doing something non-Lego. Okay. So there's a little plant life growing out of this mechanism. Like maybe it's an ancient device that's been starting to be reclaimed by the wilderness, maybe. And here's the turntable base piece. Here's a small gear that we're putting along to the side here. Okay, so this is a crank. It's going to do something. We have this big gear up here and this big gear. The big one has an interaction tile on it. Here's what the gear looks like with the tile. No idea what it does yet, but so you turn the crank and it rotates the gear on top like this. Okay, it looks like we also get a present box with a piece of a flower inside. And that also gets a little tile on top. And that's what the tile looks like for the gift box. And that's what the gift box itself. Alright, so this shows us everything up front. We need these. I guess we'll need these because they're not showing up here. These are spare bits. Let's see. This bit wasn't in the instructions, so only one of those. We're not going to put the spare bits away until we finish the putting together, of course. But let's just, I'll set those aside till they're called for. Let's do this assembly now. So it says to start with this section. We add the mystery gift box. And then we build part of the path here. So there's a little platform for Monty Mole to hang out on. And from there, we attach the bed. No, not the bed. We want the other section, the oven. So that attaches there, and that shows to put the green fruit on the platform. Oh, I see. So when you pull the peg, or when you push the peg, it drops the fruit so that whoever's playing the level can grab it. Okay, interesting. And then we take this platform Did I point that incorrectly? Yes, I did. Okay, so this platform is actually supposed to be facing this way. And then from there, this platform goes on. And we take the doorway and attach it in front like that. And we have Yoshi standing in the doorway, ready to greet his visitors. And then we take our mailbox and then the bed goes on this side. And there's a little fruit by that closed window alcove like that. So that's where the red fruit goes. And so concludes this first instruction book. So let's take these bits off. Okay, so now we'll take Mario. And he'll stop by the little rotating platform. Ooh. Well, if you spin him too much, he gets dizzy. I don't think I've done that with any of the other interactions. Okay. Hmm. So it doesn't look like the present's doing anything right now. I'll have to figure that out later. A couple coins for defeating the mole. We'll knock down the fruit. So now if he's eaten the fruit, okay, that's different. So if you eat the fruit and then jump on the spinning platform, you actually grow the fruit on the animation screen. Okay, so you grow the fruit on the spinning platform, and then you put the fruit into the gift box, and then you can retrieve it from the gift box, and it gives you a lot of coins. Now, this is a standard red fruit, I think. Okay, so this one does the same thing. So you use the spinning platform to grow your fruit. If you don't have a fruit, then the spinning platform stuns Mario. Then you put the fruit into the gift box. Quick side quest to jump to attack the Monty Mole, and then we'll come back and get our fruit. Alright, that's a cool little pair of features here. Alright. Let's pull them out so you can see them again. And now that we've passed midnight, we're going to take a quick little break for a midnight snack because I'm feeling a little munchy. So let's go ahead and set this into the frame. And the fruits I'll just set up here in front of the house. I'm feeling a little munchy, so I'm going to go have a very quick snack. And I'll put this here to preview what's coming up when I return. I'll see you in a few minutes. Never underestimate the importance of a good bio break during a long stream. Um, a good a good a good rule is to do a break every hour to 2 hours. So, anyways, let's get right into our second set because this is a bigger set. It's about double the piece count of the one we just did. So we'll be together for about another hour and a half to two, depending on how long this takes us. Let's go ahead and clear the Yoshi set for now. And I'll just take Yoshi right off screen like this. We'll let the characters stay and watch the build like we usually do. Here's the Toad's Treasure Hunt set. You can see there's 3 Toad facades, and there's a tree with a Goomba, and there's a little interaction with a Cheep fish. And then here's the back of the box, which shows you some of the play features in here. Let's get that closer to camera. Okay, so this one does have the numbered interactions like we saw in that beach set a while back. So there was one other set where we had numbered interactions as well. So the way the numbered interactions work is you have to hit all three of the numbers in order to get the big coins. I see this set is also big enough that it doesn't have the regular push tabs. So let me get out my tool. And cut the tape. Okay. With promo sets and some of the bigger boxes, they have tape instead of the normal push tabs to open the box. And actually, yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow, this is a lot. Oh. There's a lot of bags here. Okay, I think, yeah, that's everything that's in the box. Okay. Okay, then we're good to start. Normally I take the bags off, but this is one scenario where I don't know how many to expect. So let me just... Okay, there's 10 numbered bags here. So... Here's an unnumbered bag with just some standard long plates in it. This must be for connecting the interactions into a level at the end of the build. So I'll call that bag 11 and set that off to the side. That's bag 6, which is going to be in the middle of the file somewhere. 7. Right now I'm looking for, of course, here's the quick start all crumpled up in the middle. With some of the older Mario sets didn't have instructions in box. You have to go online for the instructions, or onto the Lego Mario app that you can get the instructions there too. But the quick start guide I'm just gonna set aside, and let's finish getting these bags organized here. So here's the bag 10. I'm gonna set that over here. So begins the countdown. This is bag 9. Now we're looking for bag 8. and 7 and 6 we had found. Now bag 5 is this one. 4, 3. Okay, so this is going to be a bigger build, even though the piece count is modest. 10 bags, but it's less than 500 pieces. So the bags themselves aren't going to have all that much in them per bag. But there's a lot to the set as a whole. Okay. And we'll keep bag 1 in front of us. Okay, it looks like bag 1 does have a tool in it. We already have this one out, so I'll just set the new tool aside. Plus, it's not often that we get to use teal. So we'll continue using the one we already have out. I'll set this separator aside. So bag 1 is going to be Toadette. Bag 2 is going to be Toad. Bag 3 is just going to be this one little platform. Bag 4 is going to be the yellow house or facade. Bag 5 is going to be another section of platform. Bag 6 is going to be the red house. Bag 7 is going to be the cheap bridge. Bag 8 is going to be the purple house. Bag 9 is going to be what looks like a treasure chest. And bag 10 will be the tree with the Goomba. So let's go ahead and start with Toadette's platform. And we will take the extra separator, the orange one, and I'll set that aside. And we'll keep using the one we already had out for the rest of the night. Let's begin. So Toadette is going to be comparable, pretty much the same actually as a regular Toad build, except with a little bit of a difference because she has hair with her big mushroom hat. I think this is the only set that has Toadette. She might actually be in one other set, maybe one of the... I don't have any more of her. I have plenty of Toads, though. Toad is probably the character I have the most of, either Toad or Goomba. Oh, I see. So, Toadette has the standard Toad face print, but instead of being on a standard 2x1 brick, she actually has studs on side brick with the studs pointed towards the back. It looks like the section on top, though, is done pretty much the same. Well, it's done similar. That's definitely not the same as we've seen with Toad. Toad's upper head structure is a little bit simpler than what we see here with Toadette. You have these hair extensions for her under the mushroom cap. That's what the studs on back are for. let's make sure I'm doing things in the correct order. And then, of course, a standard toad mushroom cap in pink. Okay, so with those little hair extensions, she actually has significantly more pieces than a regular toad has. But there's Toadette. And she gets a standard toad talking tile. At least I think it's a standard toad talking tile. Okay, so yeah, it's just a standard talking tile that a lot of the toads have. Meanwhile, we'll put Toadette into our lineup here. One more close up, and now we'll put the little platform aside, and we'll work on this bag 2. Bag 2 is going to be our standard toad. We've seen this guy many times before. So this is the last of the friendlies sets, unless I do the other version of Peach's Castle. Um, all the other sets are basically themed around enemies. Well, the Maker I'm not sure, but I know the Maker has enemies in it. He just has a standard toad mushroom cap. Standard toads come in a couple of different colors. This is the red cap toad. I have a bunch of this guy. He's not really anything special in my collection at this point. But there's a bunch of toads that come in some of the level packs, which are based on enemy levels. And they have different expressions. Like there's Scared Toad. There's a few Scared Toads out there in addition to all the smiley ones. So it gives you a nice little bit of variety. I'm not even going to show off this tile because it's the standard Toad talking interaction tile. We just looked at that. And we've seen it many times before on this channel. So I'll go ahead and set the Toad talking platform aside. And then we get a signpost here. with an arrow. So here's our signpost. And that won't stand on its own yet, so I'll just set that aside into my collection of parts over here. And then we got two of these little mushrooms. Let's see. I can't really show my fingers are getting in the way, but we got two of these little mushrooms. I'll set them aside until the instructions call for them again. It looks like bag 2 is really just an accessory pack for the final build at the end. Here's the other mushroom. Set that aside till the instructions call for it. Oh, and I forgot to put Toad in the lineup, so there he is. And then I build two of these trees. Again, it looks like this bag is mostly scenery stuff. Yeah, the tree is not going to stand on its own until we have a stud to plug it into. But we're going to get two of these little trees. Let's go ahead and do the other one. I'm missing a piece, and I didn't see any pieces roll off. Let me check my bag. It's not in here. Did I have a piece roll off? It's not inside the box. Okay. That's all right. We can improvise with this tree. We can make this a shorter top tree. Let me get up real quick and make sure it didn't go under. It didn't roll off under me while I was opening the bag. Yeah, there's no sign of it on the floor. I've never had a piece just be missing straight out of the bag before. Definitely not in here though. Since the Cheep Cheeps attached to the bridge, I don't think I'll actually be putting them in the lineup. I think I'm just going to assemble them as they're meant to be. And I just realized I never put up the instructions for this set, so let's... Yeah, the piece is gone. I don't know where it might be. But we have a smaller tree variant, so let me just... Actually, according to the picture on here, according to the picture on the box, one of the trees is missing that middle piece. So, it's a misprint in the instructions then. We're not missing anything. It's a misprint in the instructions. And I can see this instruction book is different, has a different layout, so let me just line it up better. All right. So yeah, there's a misprint in the instructions here, according to the picture on the box. So let's not waste any more time looking for a piece that probably isn't meant to exist. Bag 3 is very simple. Bag 3 is bag 3 is only 9 pieces. That seems kind of wasteful to me. They probably could have combined this with another bag. There's this tile, and this scan tile has arrows on it. Like this is meant to be a spinner of sorts. I don't know. I'm not seeing any spin. Well, there's a turntable here. So yeah, this is going to be a spinner section. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a simple spinner platform. So you put them on the... So it plays spooky music. And you spin them... It plays spooky music and you spin him around. And you can get coins, but if he falls off, he gets stunned. Don't know why you're playing spooky music when Toad's Village is mostly a friendly place. But whatever. So here's our little spinny platform. I'll set that aside. And we're already moving on to bag 4. Bag 4 is the first of our Toad House facades. This will be the yellow one. Alright, let's begin. So as you can see, the set has us building up the village a little bit at a time. And then at the end, it'll have us put all the components together into the whole scenario. And this is also going to have the number 1 action box at this house, because I can see it sitting in front of me. Okay, so it looks like we have this little action platform going in at the house. Let me look at that picture again real quick. Okay, so I think I see what's going to happen here. There's an I think there's going to be a switch of some kind. Let me just, I know the build is facing away from the camera. Same disclaimer as always, I need to be able to see what I'm doing, especially when action features are involved. Action features and also surface detail bits. So yeah, we're building up the facade of the yellow house, which is going to contain the the first of the three sequential blocks. I know from the beach set that did the 3 numbered blocks that you have to hit all 3 blocks in order to get the big prize. There's no point in showing you what this brick does because without having all 3, it's going to be useless. And actually, it's not just the beach set. The Luigi's Mansion set did it too, I think, with the 3 numbered blocks you have to hit in order. So this will go on top of the house like this. So, and then we just got to put together the action box. So that's what that tile looks like. And of course the number 1 on it. And this one is going to sit on the platform here. Okay, so I see what happens. So you actually close the platform. You close the platform and it becomes the door of the house. And then your figure can jump on the platform, knock it over, and get the number 1 box. Here's a close-up look of the house as a whole. And here's what it looks like with the door closed close up. And then you just jump on the block and reveal the brick. So there's the yellow Toad house. Now let's go on to bag 5. Bag 5 is going to be a segment of river, it looks like. I should have a little bit more room in the new setup, but I'm not going to be able to do Lego right away because it's going to take time to get the other room ready. Once the computer becomes available, I can do browser-based and game-based streams, but I won't be able to do Lego right away. I need to figure out how I'm going to lay out the other room for that. Hopefully I'll have everything figured out, like I said, by the weekend. So it looks like a little river runs through the village. That's what we're building now. Okay, so this has a platform on top as well. This platform, this tile has arrows on it. So it looks like this platform is meant to slide back along this plate like this. And this section goes onto the bridge. Like this. Or this section is the bridge over the river, like this. So I guess it plays that suspenseful music because there's a chance that he could fall into the river. But yeah, this platform slides along the bridge like that to cross the river. We'll set the bridge aside until the instructions call for it. And now we'll go ahead and get started with bag 6. Bag 6 is going to be the red Toad house, which is the most substantial of the 3 in terms of size. So of the 3 Toad mushroom houses in this village, this is going to be the biggest one. In fact, let me set aside these 2 really huge pieces so that they don't get in the way of me seeing the other pieces I need. So I've just got a pile off to the side here of big red pieces that otherwise are going to be in my way trying to go through the parts pile. Okay. I think our little village is coming together nicely. Of course, I'm taking the parts off camera as we build them, so on camera can focus on the part we're actively working on. At the end, of course, we'll bring everything back together. Hopefully it will fit on the table. Hmm. Okay. I don't see any pink in this parts pile, so this isn't where the second box is going to be hiding. It was an easy assumption to make based on the fact that there were 3 boxes and 3 facades, but like I said, the second box isn't in this parts pile. So it'll be interesting to see where the number 2 box ends up hiding. Maybe on the Cheap Cheap Bridge? go there. This one will go here. And then we get this going across the top like this. This house's mushroom top is going to be so big, it needs these Technic pin tiles to hold it on. Also, this entryway is big enough to have a proper door piece. Like that. We have a proper door that closes like that. We have a couple of these hanging lamps as well. I'll show you the house again once it's all built up. I need to build the other lamp here. And that will attach to this side of the door like that. And now it's time. So that's what the bottom part of this house looks like. Obviously, we need to build the big facade here, or the big mushroom top is what I meant to say. There we are. Yeah. This mushroom top might be one of the coolest builds in the village so far. Okay, why isn't this going in? There we go. because that wasn't pressed in all the way. It was getting in the way. That's why that piece wasn't going in. There we go. Those weren't pressed in all the way, but now they are. And this will go and sit on top of the house like this. And here we go. Here is our second and the biggest of the 3 mushroom houses. Door opens, but otherwise it's empty inside and there's no action features with this one. Okay, let's get these out of here. Bag 7. Oh, I had bag 9 on top of 7. Oh well. Bag 7 looks like it's going to be our cheap fridge. I'd be surprised if it doesn't have us do the 2 fish as a 2X build. I try and stockpile sets into the build queue when the budget allows, so that when I have periods of time where the budget doesn't allow me to get new stuff, I can still do a fallback on a Lego stream if I want to do a build session. That's one of the reasons why I've been hesitant to do these last 5 Mario builds that were already in the queue. But I don't know when budget's going to pick up again, so if I can't budget for the Star Wars Lego, we probably will end up doing one of the Mario builds during May, just so I don't have to go a whole month without a build session. But best case scenario, of course, is that I'm able to get some Star Wars sets that my budget will take care of itself. Both of the fish eye tiles are staring up at me from the parts pile. Eye tiles for brick built characters can be a little unsettling depending on where they end up in the parts pile. Oh, there it is. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark of stream. We'll probably be out of here by the 3-hour mark. So the bridge itself is coming together nicely. We have, here's what we have so far. We have a little bit of an assembly to do here. Okay, so there's this little spinny block here at the top of the bridge. Okay, so it only has us building one of the fish at a time. That's all right. I'll prolong the build by a couple minutes, but not too bad. It's going together pretty quickly. Oh, right, I forgot the other bracket. Now I can put the tile on. And that's what the Cheap Cheap's tile looks like. Oh, I see why I didn't do it as a 2x. Because only one of them is going to get this long stick here. I'm sure the other one gets built exactly the same way once we're actually building it. So this one sits on top of the brick like this. And putting it on, because of its weight, gravity just pulls it down like that. I think the other one, yeah, the other one's gonna be put on the facing the opposite way, I think, so you can spin them together. I'm reminded of the swoop bats from the Haunted Yard set. The main difference with that mechanism being that there were actually 4 of those guys, and there's only 2 of these guys. I don't think I ever gave you a close-up of the Cheap Sheep as a whole. Here's what it looks like. And of course there's a tile on the back. So yeah, this one shows you that, hey, yeah, gravity takes effect. So yeah, alright, so it's facing that way. And with the tile for the bottom one facing down. I can just... Yeah, so the Cheap Sheeps aren't going to be part of the character lineup. They're just going to stay at their bridge until the instructions call for them again. Okay, before we go on to... Looks like I missed a step somewhere because I have 2 pieces left over here. There's no round gray tiles except for the one I've already put in. I'll set that one aside. That's not normally a piece that's left over. Unless I skipped it on the other. I don't think I would have skipped it on the other section. I'm going back to see where I may have forgotten this gray tile. Okay, I got it there. Okay, there's no gray tile there. What about my other river? Yeah, there's a gray tile in the middle of that one. So yeah, it's not on that piece. So yeah, there's gray tiles aren't usually given as an extra. The white plate also. So it's a round plate and then a square plate. Do I have? I have both layers on both of the Cheap Sheeps. Okay then. I have 2 pieces that right now seem to be extras. Okay then. Alright. So the Cheap Sheeps spin around the bridge like this. Except I was spinning them facing backwards. Obviously they spin the way that they're facing. So like this. And they're jumping around the bridge, creating a little bit of an obstacle. But if you jump on them as they come down, okay, so let's spin this, and he can go on his way. If you were really role-playing this thing, you could have the fish push him off the bridge. Anyway, here's a close-up of the bridge with the fish on it. And I'll set that into our little pile of village sections. I'm holding on to the 2 extra pieces. Let's go ahead and bring out bag 8 now. I'm guessing that the number 9 and the number 2 and number 3 sequence action blocks are going to be in bags 9 and 10. Because they're not here and we're already in bag 8. We just passed the 2-hour mark of stream. Alright, so we're starting to build up the final village mushroom house facade. Wow, this one's very low. We're already building a little archway over the opening here. This one must belong to a baby toad. Why a baby toad would be living on their own, who knows? It's already time to build the mushroom top. So there's the whole house, the smallest of the 3 toad mushroom houses. We're going to bag 9, and I do see the 2 pink parts that make up the numbered action block for number 2. Okay, so there's definitely an action feature that's going to happen in this bag. Or I mean, in this assembly, I should say. There's no longer a bag here. We've already taken out the parts to prepare the parts pile. Interesting. be interesting to see how this little feature works here. Again, I'm not going to play it out yet because it's number 2 in the sequence. So the 1, 2, 3 we're not going to play out till the village is together. Oh, there it is. There's a little printed keyhole here. Let's see, can I grip that with my finger? There's this printed tile here. So yeah, it looks like what we're building now is a representation of a treasure chest. Okay. So these will go here. This will go on top like this. And we will secure that with these tiles here. And then of course we just make our number 2 block. So there's the number 2 block. And this will go inside the treasure chest like this. Close the top. So here's our treasure chest. And yeah. And then so the character will come along, jump here, which will expose the number 2 block for them to jump on. And they'll be able to hit the second of the 3 blocks in the sequence. Bag 10, Goomba's tree. And I can tell from the inset picture and from the bag, because I see the pink parts. I'll take the treasure chest off screen for a bit. So Goomba's tree is going to hide the third and final number 3 action block in the sequence. This bag, being our final bag of the night, is also going to give us our final character of the night in that very basic Goomba sitting on top of the tree. So we're going to start with our little platform here. And we get a little bit of flour on the corner. And then we need to start building up our tree. I'm either going to have, unless they release more Mario sets, I have between 8 and 10 Mario streams left before I will have completed the series. I keep knocking the table out of straightness. And because of the darker color of this tree, it's a little difficult for me to interpret the instructions, but shouldn't be too terrible. It would help if I actually pressed all the pieces all the way in when trying to connect them. Well, that's cool. We have the cartoon piece, the cartoon cloud piece in green to represent tree leaves on the set. I've never seen them in green before, but that's cool. Here, I'll show you. That's the cartoon cloud piece. We see the cartoon cloud piece a bunch throughout Lego Mario, but this is the first time I've seen it in green. So it looks like uh, the number 3 action block is going to sit just on its tree branch in plain view. There's the number 3 block. So if you hit the blocks out of sequence, it just gives you a single coin. 1 and 2 give you a single coin when you hit them in sequence. If you hit all the blocks in order, then the number 3 block will give you a stack of coins. But if you go 1 and then 3 and then cycle back to 2, it resets everything. You have to do them in order to get the full coin amount. So there's a little bit of tree leaf here. to kind of hide the action box. So I want to make sure I'm doing this as the instructions intended. And I actually have the box hidden. And then this whole unit goes on top of the tree like this. Which leaves Goomba time. So here's Goomba. Very standard. You've seen this a bunch of times on the channel already. So we're not going to dwell on him too much. We're just going to put him on top of the tree where he's going to wait for interaction. And now we're going to go through the steps that show us how to put the whole village together. So, we'll need this bag. For purposes of making room, making a little bit more room because I don't know how much space this all is going to take up. Let's take Yoshi and the mole off stage for a little bit. Toad and Toadette are going to be put on their platforms in a minute so they can stay. Goomba's waiting in his tree. The Cheep Cheeps are waiting at the bridge. Let's go ahead and start assembling. And we'll take Mario and Luigi off so that actually we'll take all the figures off until we're ready to play the adventure, and then we'll play with Peach because this is the Toad Village. So it has a start with the purple. And then I need the 2x10 green. Okay. And Toad and Toadette I'll just set off as well until the instructions call for them. So now we need the Toadette platform. That goes on like this. And actually, I'm going to try and build it facing it because I have a feeling it's going to be difficult to turn once we finish this assembly. All right, Cheep Cheep bridge. We want to have them facing this way. So that goes right up against the Toadette platform like this. So it looks like the action's going to be going roughly this direction. And then we get okay. There's another one that attaches, and we won't need the separator at this point, so I'll just toss that aside. I need to turn around to see what I'm doing on here. Oh no, that doesn't line up there. That lines up on this one over here. So we're at about the 2.5 hour mark of stream now. So I guess the little purple house is Toadette's house. Now I can go back to having that lined up. So Goomba's tree goes there. And the treasure chest, where did I put that? Right here. Goes on the end of this platform like this. Okay. So now we have this piece sticking off of this end. And we have our little spinny platform on the end of that. So that'll go there. And then we have our Toad platform on the end of that. And there's a little thing behind him. Which is the big Toad house here. Alright, let's put these guys over here. Okay, that's secure. Even here, the picture shows the tree shows it with that middle piece in the inset, but without that middle piece, the one that's actually on the model. So that's on the left, so we want to put that on the right side. No, we want to put that on our right. So the tree goes there. We also get one of the mushrooms going onto this house. So the mushroom will go there. And we also get the other mushroom over here on the Goomba tree opposite the flower. So that'll go over here. So that'll go there. And then we have this platform with the bridge here. And that points forward. Like this. We still have a couple plates left here. This one goes here, coming off the other side of the end of the bridge. And then this one goes here. There's a platform. There's a platform. And here. Did I do that correctly? Yes, I did according to that. Sometimes I need to count the studs in the picture to make sure I'm building accurately. That's what happened right there. So we'll get our yellow toad house. And of course we will close the door. And then we get our other tree. Okay, according to this picture, the leaf is supposed to be up here on this side. And then we put the tree down here. Oh, that is supposed to be the taller of the two trees. So let's swap the two trees. And then this is the one that goes down here. And we also need our signpost. Which goes right there. So that's actually off camera right now. And that's the end of the instructions. So let's turn off the instructions and see if we can get this whole level in camera. And these ended up being spares. So Let's just toss them aside. And let's grab Peach. And let's have her play the level real quick. So Peach will start over here by the signpost. And she'll come over here and wait for the bridge to cross. She'll first go to visit the yellow Peach house. And she activated the number 1 block. So now she has to walk along here and get on the spinner to go over the water. And she can talk to Toad. And she has to keep going over the water and talk to Toadette. Now she has to cross the Cheap Sheep Bridge. And she's going to come to the treasure chest, revealing the number 2 block. She's still in sequence, so now she has to cross back over the Cheap Sheep Bridge. And now she has to go over to Goomba's tree. Defeating the Goomba. And here she can come over here and flip up the leaf to reveal box number 3. And get a lot of coins. Yeah, that's a nice little level. And she can celebrate by staying perched atop the tree like that. So we'll leave her in the tree for now. Let's go ahead and close everything up. We'll put Goomba with her. Because, hey, they're friends now or something, apparently. Okay, that's up. We'll put Toad and we'll put Toadette standing with Toad at his platform, just so we can see her a little bit better. Let me see what I can do with this stuff. Excuse me a moment. I just dropped part of Yoshi's house. Careful. Gotta be more careful. Excuse me a moment. I'm trying to see if this... Okay. Yeah, it's already on the table. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to see if there is room with some creative shifts. There might be room for the Yoshi stuff. Well, that's all part of a unit. What if I pull the whole thing back? That's going to go off the table, isn't it? And we'll just put Yoshi's house up here in the front here. Kind of like this, maybe? Straddle around the front of the set like this. And then if I pull this back, you can just barely see Yoshi's house in the front of Toad's village. Let's see. can't. We'll have Yoshi peeking out from his bed behind the wall like this. The mole we'll put hanging out on this spinny platform. And then we just need to find a place for Mario and Luigi to hang out. We'll put Luigi here like he's going to open the treasure. And Mario, we'll put in the front here like he's going to visit Yoshi. Which means he's actually blocking the mole who we can have hanging out on top of Yoshi's house. Like that. So let's see, we should have 10 characters in the scene. So let me see if I can see them all in the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I put the mole there, then he hides Yoshi. So instead, we'll put the mole here, hanging out by the unattended one house. You can see the block flip down, so maybe the mole made mischief over there. Let's set up our exit raid. We'll raid Jangel Music tonight. She has a good show. She calls her fans, she calls her fans the Jangels. So we're going to get ready to go on this raid. This was a fun pair of builds. My table's a bit cluttered now. And I will see you after the furniture gets moved. So hopefully I'll see you by the weekend. The day we move the stuff and the computer goes up, I'll probably do a game stream just to make sure that the setup's working. But I won't be able to stream Lego until the weekend. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. Good night.